morning, colleagues. Good morning to our Central Staff employees. And a special good morning to the people of the U.S. Virgin Islands. Committee on Rules and Judiciary meeting of June 2nd, 2022 is hereby called to order. Before we proceed, though, I want to say a very, very happy birthday to my colleague and friend, the Honorable Senator Novell Francis. Senator Francis, I wish you good health, prosperity, on your 21st birthday. They told me it's 21 that you're making today. Happy birthday, sir, and I wish you all the best. I also would like to recognize today our 2020 graduates from our territories' high schools. 2022 graduates. 2022 graduates from our territories' high schools. Ladies and gentlemen, your resilience and determination are absolutely legendary. You have faced something that I don't think anyone else in the world has ever faced, has ever experienced. You navigated your way through 2 historic Cat 5 hurricanes, followed by a grueling recovery process, followed by a tricky and deceptive global pandemic called COVID-19. And you survived, you lived to tell the tale. I am really confident that the worst is behind you, the worst is behind us, and the best is yet to come. My advice to you, students, is stay true to who you are, and remember that great things happen when you move beyond your comfort zone. We wish you all the best. Madam Clerk, can we please have a roll call?
I know the rest of them been in some other committee.
Hello?
Please recognize Ms. Dawes' mic.
Good morning. Senator Novell E. Francis Jr.
Here.
Senator Francis present. Senator Kenneth L. Gittins. Senator Kenneth L. Gittins. Senator Gittins absent.
You say came to government up?
Senator Franklin D. Johnson.
Here.
Senator Johnson present. Senator Carla J. Joseph. Present. Senator Joseph present. Senator Stephen D. Payne. Senator Payne absent. Senator Milton E. Potter.
Here.
Senator Potter present. Senator Genevieve R. Whitaker. Senator Whitaker absent. Mr. Chair, we have 4 present and 3 absent.
Thank you very much,
Mr. Chair.
Madam Clerk.
Present. Thank you. Gittins present.
Please record Senator Gittins as present, Madam Clerk.
Senator Kenneth L. Gittins is present. So, Mr. Chair, we have 5 present, 2 absent.
Thank you very much. We have a quorum, so we may proceed. Madam Clerk, are there any pieces of correspondence to be read into the record at this time?
Yes, Mr. Chair. To the Honorable Milton Potter, Chairman, Rules and Judiciary, 34th Legislature of the Virgin Islands, St. Thomas, VI 00804, dated June 2nd, 2022. Dear Chairman Potter, due to circumstances beyond my control, I will not be attending the Committee on Rules and Judiciary meeting scheduled for today, Thursday, June 2nd, at the Earl B. Legislative Hall on the island of St. Thomas. I am kindly asking to be excused from this meeting. Please forward all documents received at the meeting to me via email or my office. Thank you for your understanding. Sincerely, Stephen D. Payne, Sr., Senator at Large, 34th Legislature of the Virgin Islands. This concludes the correspondence, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much. Madam Clerk, can you also read today's agenda into the record?
The Committee on Rules and Judiciary has scheduled a meeting for Thursday, June 2nd, 2022 at 9:30 a.m. in the Earl B. Otley Legislative Hall on St. Thomas to consider the following. In Block 1, nomination of Dr. Bradley Keys to the Virgin Islands Chiropractic Board. In Block 2, Bill number 340201, a resolution honoring and commending Kermit Amon Lewis for his outstanding service and contributions to the marine service industry in the Virgin Islands. Bill number 340202, a resolution honoring and commending Eugene Jennings Thomas posthumously for his outstanding contributions to the Virgin Islands community as a baseball, softball, and life coach. Bill number 340203, a resolution honoring and commending Alvin Delano Burke Sr. posthumously for his service and contributions to the sport of baseball, horse racing, and to the people of the Virgin Islands. And Bill number 340220, a resolution honoring and commending the Agriculture and Food Fair Board of Directors, the University of the Virgin Islands, and the Virgin Islands Department of Agriculture for 50 years of diligence in coordinating, promoting, and hosting the Virgin Islands Agriculture and Food Fair, known as AgriFest. In Block 3, Bill number 340206, an act amending Title 23, Chapter 5, Section 460 of the Virgin Islands Code, repealing reciprocal recognition of firearm licenses for persons that own firearms outside of the Virgin Islands. Bill number 340225, an act amending Title 5 Virgin Islands Code, Subtitle 2, Chapter 201, Section 2539, to increase the penalties for failure to report certain crimes. Bill number 340226, an act amending Acts numbers 874, 879, 886, 8496, 8494, 8496, and 8498 to adjust the fiscal year 2022 budget to appropriate funds to the Casino Control Commission for capital outlay, WTJX for capital outlay and satellite uplink respectively, Elections System of the Virgin Islands for general election, Virgin Islands Cricket Board, Department of Tourism for personnel and fringe benefits, Virgin Islands Board of Nurse Licensure for personnel and fringe benefits, and 8% salary restoration, Social Security and Medicare tax reimbursement to the Economic Development Authority, Governor Wong F. Louis Hospital and Medical Center, and the Virgin Islands Waste Management Authority. Finally, Block 4, Bill number 340207, an act repealing and reenacting Title 14, Virgin Islands Code, Chapter 41, Section 843, relating to fraudulent claims upon the government of the Virgin Islands, its officers, department, boards, commissions, or agency. Invited testifiers, the Honorable Denise George, USVI Attorney General, and Attorney Alicia Udwani, President, VI Bar Association. This concludes the reading of the agenda, Mr. Chair.
Madam Clerk, thank you very much. Colleagues, we will now proceed with Block 1. We have one nominee in Block 1, Dr. Bradley Keys, the Governor's nominee to the Virgin Islands Chiropractic Board. Dr. Bradley, welcome.
Thank you. Can you hear me okay?
We're hearing you loud and clear, and we're seeing you clearly. As is customary, sir, first of all, we want to thank you very much for agreeing to serve on this very important board. And as is customary, I would like to ask you to raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give and your responses to all questions posed will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you very much. And Dr. Keys, you may now proceed with your testimony.
Thank you. And good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the Committee on Rules and Judiciary. It is my honor and pleasure to speak to you today regarding my nomination for the Virgin Islands Boards of Chiropractic Examiners. Let me start with telling you a little bit about my history and continue with reason for wanting to be on the board, current state of the chiropractic profession in the Virgin Islands, and my concern with the chiropractic profession in the Virgin Islands, along with the resolution for those concerns. I was born in Charleston, West Virginia, the son and nephew of chiropractors. In high school, I played and was team captain on multiple varsity sports, setting many school records and hold the current state record in track and field. I continued my athletic career on a Division I scholarship to the University of Louisville. During my studies at U of L, I received multiple Red and Black Scholar Athlete Awards, held the sprint team captain position, set a school record, and was a representative for the track team to the Student Athletic Advising Committee, better known as SAC, for multiple seasons. SAC is a committee made up of student athletes assembled to provide insight on the student athlete experience and provide input on the rules, regulations, and policies that affect student athletes' lives to the NCAA. After graduating from U of L with my Bachelor's of Science in Health and Human Performance, I had the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to further my athletic career playing professional rugby for the United States National Men's Rugby Sevens team. Through that experience, I was able to interact with coaches, trainers, managers, and athletes that are participating at the highest level of the sport. Unfortunately, due to injury, my professional rugby career ended, so I continued my education by attending chiropractic school at the fountainhead of the profession, Palmer College of Chiropractic. While attending chiropractic school, I was on an athletic scholarship, vice president of the rugby team, a multiple Dean's List honor roll, and nominated for the Clinical Excellence Award. Upon graduation of chiropractic college, and as a young doctor, my wife and I, who is also a chiropractor, decided we wanted to learn from other experienced doctors in the field and started working in a large personal injury clinic in Las Vegas, Nevada, and then on to an integrated clinic in Boise, Idaho. My experience within those offices was amazing and educational. I saw a variety of patient conditions ranging from high impact car crash traumas to age-related chronic and severe spondylosis conditions. We work closely with other providers ranging from spine surgeons to psychologists to provide the best care and management for the patient. Most recently, my wife and I decided to move to the beautiful U.S. Virgin Islands to provide maternity leave for another chiropractor on St. Thomas. Since relocating, I've been involved locally with the men's rugby team as the president of the club, member of the U.S. Virgin Island Winter Olympic Committee, member of the Virgin Island Chiropractic Society, and member of the USVI Chamber of Commerce. After Maria, I established a private practice, purchased a home last year, and now have lived in the Virgin Islands longer than anywhere else other than my childhood home, and we plan to raise our future children in the Virgin Islands. Clinically, I practice an evidence-based practice model. Evidence-based practice defined by U of Health at the University of Utah is integrating the best available evidence with clinical knowledge and expertise while considering patients' unique needs and personal preferences. If used consistently, optimal patient outcomes are more likely achieved. To stay up to date with relevant research, articles, clinical knowledge, and expertise, I am involved in a variety of continuing education formats. I recently completed primary spine practitioner program through the University of Pittsburgh School of Health and Rehabilitative Sciences. I have received certifications and qualifications through the Academy of Chiropractic Group and participate in weekly clinical grand rounds through National Spine Management Group. I am also a member of North American Spine Society, American College of Physical Medicine, and the International Chiropractors Association. As you can see, I have held leadership roles throughout my life. I strive to be the best at what I do and believe in leading from the front. I'm interested in being a member of the VI Chiropractic Board of Examiners because I think my experience will add value to the current board. I believe the state of the profession is in excellent condition. We have great chiropractors in the territory, and I'm thankful for those who have served before me and paved the way for chiropractic care in the Virgin Islands. Many of our board members have selflessly served on the board for many years, and I believe it is time for the younger generation to step up for the profession. While serving on the board, my primary focus will be maintaining and progressing a high level of standard of care for residents of the VI and ensure that the people of the VI continue to have access to high quality chiropractic care. This leads me to one of my current concerns. Our profession is the only physician level provider without a defined assistant. Chiropractic assistants, CA, are used in nearly all offices, but to what level is not defined or standardized in the territory. Working in many other office settings in different states, the role of a CA is defined differently per state, but defined and standardized. Some states require CAs to pass an exam, some require minimum schooling, some require a certain amount of clinical hours experience, but all states, to my knowledge, have a CA position defined, standardized, and regulated within the law. My solution to this would be to work with other members of the Chiropractic Board of Examiners, members of this committee, and the Department of Health to define, standardize, and regulate the role of a CA within the chiropractic profession to ensure public safety and establish a standard of care for the CA within the profession. In closing, I would like to thank all the members of the committee for your time and service to the community, and I'm open to questions from the members. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your testimony, Dr. Keys. Colleagues, I believe we're gonna have a 3-minute round. If you need additional time, the chair will be generous with you. We will start with Senator Francis. You are recognized for your 3 minutes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Good morning to you, my colleagues. Good morning to the nominee, and certainly good morning to the people of Virgin Islands. Thank you for the happy birthday wishes, but today's not my birthday. My birthday is on June 20th, 20, not 02. All right,
Oh,
so
wow.
I look forward to being around by that time, right?
Thanks for that correction, sir.
No worries, no worries. So nominee, Dr. Keys, certainly thank you for your interest to serving on this very important board, and also for making the Virgin Islands your home. I wanted to ask you a few questions as we continue to vet your nomination. Did you ask to serve on this board, or someone seeked you out to serve on this board?
I asked to be part of the board and was seeking out to be a member of the board.
Very well. And obviously, since that, you have had an opportunity to speak with anyone on the board? Absolutely. Okay, and what's the sentiment in respect to that? How was the board function, and what do you intend to bring to the board?
Yeah, so I do believe that the members that I spoke with are in favor of adding me to the board. And I believe that my expertise and my past with being on different types of boards or advisory committees will bring my experience to the board.
Okay. And very well. So you have had an opportunity to review all of the requirements to serve on this very important board?
Yes, I have.
And so you talk about purchasing a home in the Virgin Islands. Have you done that already, or you intend to do that?
Yeah, we are about a year into our home now, so very happy.
1 minute.
Do you have a Virgin Islands driver's license?
Yes, I do.
Good show. You're serious about being here, I can see.
I buy into whatever I do, so yeah.
Very well. So I don't have any further questions. I've had an opportunity to review your resume. I like your zeal and your zest and interest in again contributing to the Virgin Islands, and not just from the sidelines or from practice, but also to be a part of this board, so that you could make some decisions to impact what's happening here. So I thank you once again. I have no further questions for you at this time.
Thank you, Senator Francis.
Thank you very much, Senator Francis. Senator Johnson, you're recognized for your 3 minutes.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Good morning to the rest of my colleagues. Good morning to Dr. Bradley. And good morning to the viewing and listening audience. I've seen a couple of chiropractors in my time, and I don't think I want to see a next one. Not that it's bad, but I don't need to have no more injuries. So I really want to say thank you for willingness to serve and welcome aboard if this, do go through. One of the questions I'd like to ask, you said in your statement, you believe in leading from the front. As a board member, tell me what you think should be implemented or changed immediately with the board and its structure.
Like in this statement, I do believe that we need to have a better defined assistant within our profession. Every medical profession has a defined assistant that is licensed and regulated. And so I think that would be an important area that we should focus our attention to in my immediate starting of the position.
Have you had any conversation with any members of the board at this time that's present?
Not currently, unfortunately. However, I was at the International Chiropractic Association meeting, annual meeting not too long ago, and had conversations with representatives at that meeting about this topic, and they seem to be in favor with it. However, that they're not here. But the chiropractic assistant is well defined throughout the mainland. So I do think it would be a way to progress our profession down here in the Virgin Islands.
At this present time, do you believe there's enough chiropractor here in the territory, or we need more chiropractors?
I think the population could definitely afford to have more chiropractors. I do at times have patients that try to call and we don't have availability. And I find that there aren't enough people in general being seen for we'll say non-specific back pain in general. So chiropractors have been research and studies to be a good first line provider to provide services for those patients. So it definitely wouldn't hurt to have a few more on the island to better serve the community.
If I may ask this question, what are some of the most common injuries that you're experiencing since you're now here in the territory? What's the most injury that you've been seeing?
Well, since COVID, we've had a large influx of just back and neck pain, people being remote working from home and not having a proper workstation and things like that. So pretty standard type things. So we generally focus on spine related pains, but can work on any type of musculoskeletal condition.
You have to do a lot of cracking of backs?
We prefer to use the word adjustment, but yeah.
Time.
Thank you very much, because I know it was cracking whenever I go to a chiropractor, I would hear those cracks going up the line, crack, crack, crack. So I call it cracking, but you're correct. It's adjusting of the spine. A lot of that came in. We do a lot of that type of
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. Seems to be a very straightforward person, and I wish you the best on your endeavor. And if it's selected, at that time, I definitely would like to see you doing more things and helping us in this area of expertise that's well needed in the territory. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very
Senator
much,
Johnson.
Senator Johnson. It's not cracking of back, Senator. It's an adjustment. Okay, we don't want to scare the people of the territory. It's an adjustment. Senator Gittins, you are recognized for your 3 minutes.
Good morning. Thank you. Good morning, all. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning, nominee. How are you today?
I'm doing well, Senator. Thank you.
Good, thanks. So I saw your resume, saw your application. What do you see your role and your responsibility as a board member serving on the chiropractic board here in the territory?
I think the first role of any board member, myself included, would just to be to ensure public safety and to keep the standard of care in the profession.
Great. And are you you're currently practicing here? How long have you been practicing?
I've been in private practice for a little over 5 years now.
And how long have you been?
Three and a half, 4 years.
How long have you been in the territory?
About 6 years.
And have you been in your couple of years, have you ever been aware of a potential error or lapse in judgment by one of your colleagues?
Not specifically.
Not specifically. How do I accept that? Not specifically. Have you or have you not?
I have not.
Okay. And how would you describe your current relationship with the board now?
I believe I have a good relationship with the board. One of the board members is a fellow ICA member and representative, and we had lunch a couple months ago talking about this nomination. So I believe I have a good standing with the board.
And why do you think you would add value?
1 minute.
Chiropractic board here.
Just due to my past experience and my drive to want to continue to improve the profession. I like to make sure that we continue the standard of care within the Virgin Islands.
Okay, so your long 3.5 years is sufficient.
You got to start somewhere.
Okay. Thank you for your willingness to serve and to bring your dedication and commitment to the board, and at the appropriate time, I will vote. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, Senator Gittins. Senator Joseph, you're recognized for your 3 minutes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. A pleasant good morning to you, colleagues, viewing and listening audience. Also, our testifier before us for consideration to be on the Virgin Islands Chiropractic Board of Examiners. I want to thank you first, Mr. Bradley, for throwing your hat in the ring and to actually agree to be on this board. I know we have been challenged in the Virgin Islands with finding competent people the willingness to serve on the board. So I want to really commend you for stepping up to the plate and having the courage to do so. My expectation, as all of my colleagues, is that you will be willing and ready to go to work on behalf of the people of the Virgin Islands to ensure that those who are practicing in the field of chiropractic will be assured to have a level of integrity and keep our people safe. And by your shaking of your head, I'm guessing that you're saying yes. Is that correct?
Yes, Senator, I absolutely agree with that.
Now, I did a little research into the code, our Virgin Islands law, which it states the qualifications of persons who are going to be selected or appointed through confirmation with the legislature, appointed by the governor, through confirmation of the Senate, to the Chiropractic Board of Examiners. I noted in the discussion that you mentioned that you have been licensed in the Virgin Islands for how many years?
3.5.
So you just barely made it, because it's supposed to be, the code specifically says 3 years.
1
so
minute.
you're just, it said at least, and so at least is the minimum 3 years. So you have met that criteria. I do have concern because I did read through the questionnaire. I noted that in 2005, 2006, you had a little run-in, that you actually had a reckless driving issue. Were you inebriated when that occurred?
No, Senator, I was not. Unfortunately, I like to ride motorcycles, and as a young man, I like to ride motorcycles irresponsibly. So I was pulled over for riding a wheelie, essentially, on a motorcycle when I was in schooling.
So I can appreciate that, because they have a number of young people here in St. Thomas. I'm sure you've seen them, as well as in St. Croix, who do the same, and they like to wheelie. I see that you are properly, Mr. Chairman, I just may wrap up, if you're so kind.
You may wrap up, Senator.
Thank you kindly. I just want to say that I want to just ask one final question. Are you currently mentoring anyone who you have noticed may have that same interest in chiropractic studies currently in the Virgin Islands? Because I read your testimony. You come up from a legacy of chiropractic. Your father and your uncle work in that field. So it's also to broaden it to others who may be interested in going into the field, but they don't have access. Have you been mentoring anyone, open to mentoring anyone?
Senator, at this moment, I haven't had the opportunity to mentor anyone. However, it is in my plans to potentially become an adjunct professor through UVI, maybe teaching anatomy or labs or something like that, to where I can maybe reach more younger people in order to potentially inform them on the profession of chiropractic and how it can help people.
I'm going to hold you to that. And I will be getting in contact with you regarding that so we can make it happen. Thank you kindly, Mr. Chairman, for your leniency.
Thank you very much, Senator Joseph. Dr. Keys, what would you say is your greatest concern relative to the chiropractic profession?
At the moment, it would be the lack of standardization for our assistants that work with us in the clinic, side by side in handling with patients. It's basically a open book on who can or can't interact with patients within my office or any other office in the Virgin Islands that is in the assistant type role. Again, every major physician has an assistant that's well defined. And so I, again, believe that it would be important to have that standardized and for the safety and of the community. Yeah,
I think it makes good sense, and that is something that this body can absolutely work closely with you and the board so that we can have that defined, have it codified, so that there is some uniformity and consistency as to how CAs are used and and their background and qualifications. So I think that's something important, and we look forward to working closely with you to get that rectified. What is the most common or the greatest misconception about your profession?
A great question, Senator. That we only treat back pain. I have the pleasure of treating patients with all sorts of ailments, and screening patients, we're considered a portal of entry provider within the healthcare system. So if a patient comes to me and it's not something I can help them with, I can make sure that they are referred to the appropriate provider or appropriate tests, imaging, labs, etc. So we have, we are commonly pigeonholed into just back pain. However, our training and education has us have the ability to diagnose and refer appropriately if needed, and then also on a conservative manner, treat other ailments as well.
Okay. Excellent. I think I am, based on my observation, based on hearing your responses to the questions, I am pleased. It's good to see a fresh, new face. I applaud Governor Bryan for once again sending down qualified young individuals to serve on these very important boards. So at the appropriate time, I plan to vote in the affirmative for your nomination to this board. Colleagues,
Point of inquiry.
I believe we have exhausted. Point of inquiry. Point of inquiry, Senator Francis, you're recognized.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Dr. Keys, can you describe 3 qualities that you possess?
Sure. Leadership, drive, and professionalism.
Very well. And I think it's important that I say that I'm looking forward to those 3 qualities being utilized on this board. We don't want to prove nominees for the purpose of just status quo. I think it's critical that when you go on these boards that you shake up the bottle and you'll hopefully make a significant impact there. For some reason, a lot of these boards, they become dormant and you just join the fraternity or the group. I really want to see that you go there and hopefully utilize your newness to have a significant impact. So again, congratulations on your nominations, and we look forward to you serving on this board. At this time, Mr. Chair, are you ready for a motion?
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Senator Francis, you're recognized for your motion.
Thank you very much. Mr. Chair and colleagues, I move that the governor's nomination of Dr. Bradley Keys to serve on the Virgin Islands Chiropractic Board be approved by the Committee of Rules and Judiciary and sent to the full body for further consideration. I so move.
Second.
Properly moved by Senator Francis, seconded by Senator Johnson.
Yeah.
Roll call on the nomination of Dr. Bradley Keys to the Virgin Islands Chiropractic Board of Examiners.
Senator Nobel E. Francis Jr.
Yea.
Senator Francis Yeh. Senator Kenneth L. Gittins.
Yes.
Senator Gittins, yea. Senator Franklin D. Johnson.
Yay.
Senator Johnson, yea. Senator Carla J. Joseph. Senator Joseph, yea. Senator Stephen D. Payne. Senator Payne, absent. Senator Milton E. Potter.
Yes.
Senator Potter, yea. Senator Genevieve R. Whitaker. Senator Whitaker, absent. Mr. Chair, we have 5 yea, 2 absent.
Thank you very much. Colleagues, the nomination of Dr. Bradley Keys to the Virgin Islands Board of Chiropractic Examiners has been favorably approved by the Committee on Rules and Judiciary and will be forwarded to the full body for further consideration. Congratulations, Dr. Keys. We're going to give you 30 seconds to make your wrap-up statement.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for the committee for my nomination. Again, I will also hold myself accountable to what you guys are going to hold me accountable to as well, and look forward to serving and to continue to serve the people of the Virgin Islands and to continue to move the profession forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Keys. Again, congratulations, and we appreciate your willingness to serve. Your nomination will be sent to the full body at our next official session of the body, and you will be notified of that date. However, you will not be required to show up for that hearing. Okay? Congratulations again. You're officially released from this team's meeting.
Thank you.
All right. Madam Clerk, can you please read the agenda in block number 2?
Block 2, we have Bill number 340201, a resolution honoring and commending Kermit Amon Lewis for his outstanding service and contributions to the marine science industry in the Virgin Islands. Bill number 340202, a resolution honoring and commending Eugene Jennings Thomas posthumously for his outstanding contributions to the Virgin Islands community as a baseball, softball, and life coach. Bill number 340203, a resolution honoring and commending Alvin Delano Burke Sr. posthumously for his service and contributions to the sport of basketball, horse racing, and to the people of the Virgin Islands. Bill number 340220, a resolution honoring and commending the Agriculture and Food Fair Board of Directors, the University of the Virgin Islands, and the Virgin Islands Department of Agriculture for 50 years of diligence in coordinating, promoting, and hosting the Virgin Islands Agriculture and Food Fair, known as AgriFest. This concludes the reading of the agenda for Block 2, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. Colleagues, we will proceed with Bill number 34-0201. Who speaks to this bill?
I do, Mr. Chairman.
Senator Francis, you're recognized for your introduction.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Again, Bill number 34-0201 is a resolution honoring and commending Kermit Amon Lewis for his outstanding service and contributions to the marine industry of the Virgin Islands. The bill sponsors are, in fact, Senators Kurt VLA, Senator Genevieve Whitaker, Senator Johnson, as well as Senator Marvin Blyden. And I must say that, again, we really want to recognize and commend this individual for his contribution. He holds a bachelor's degree and a master's degree in marine science from the Savannah State University. He worked for and worked with the Planning and Natural Resources Coastal Zone program for a number of years, as well as the University of the Virgin Islands, and was a professor of science on the St. Croix campus. Mr. Lewis' passion for restoring life to our native waters blossom in worldwide efforts to assist with the establishment of coral nurseries in other countries such as the British Virgin Islands, the Bahamas, Curacao, Dominican Republic, Grenada, Guam, and Jamaica. Mr. Lewis also developed the Reef Responsible Sustainable Seafood Initiative in the territory, and I, as a seafood lover, could appreciate that he helped to educate chefs, fishermen, and the community in the best practices for fishing and sustaining environment. I'll tell you that, what's even truly amazing to me is that this individual, suffered an illness, recently, and despite his illness, he was able to overcome. There were some amputations and stuff like that as a result of his illness, and he was strongly able to overcome, have become a role model for so many in terms of his willpower, his energy, and his great outlook in life, despite what he had gone through. I'm certainly moved every day that I see him, and I'm honored on behalf of the bill sponsors to move this bill forward, because I understand the critical need of it. Again, this resolution is really to honor and commend Kermit Amon Lewis for his service and contribution to the marine science industry. Again, we're surrounded by water, and his appreciation for blue, his appreciation for our waters and our marine life is something that goes beyond measure. And I really want to thank him for his contribution as a Virgin Islander. Again, I'm honored to move this resolution forward and the bill sponsors' behalf. Bill number 34-0201, I ask my colleagues to please support this measure and make sure that this individual receives the honor that's due to him. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair, for the time.
Thank you very much, Senator Francis. We will now proceed to bill number 34-0202. Who speaks to this bill?
I will.
Senator Johnson, you're recognized for your introduction.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. This is a bill proposed by Senator Kurt Villet and sponsored by Senator Franklin Johnson, and a resolution honoring, commending Eugene Genix Thomas, mostly for his outstanding contribution to the Virgin Islands community as a baseball, softball, and long life coach. I've been blessed to have known Mr. Eugenix Thomas, and I was blessed to also be coached by Mr. Thomas. But some of his outstanding accomplishment goes back to where he took a set of young girls in 1978 to the World Series champion, and they won that. 13 young ladies, a life-changing event for those young ladies and Mr. Thomas. But as a softball and baseball coach, he have mentored young men and young women throughout this territory and have a great impact on their life. So not just about softball or baseball, but the impact he have had on these young people's life. And I've been blessed to be in the committee of Government Operation and Consumer Protection to hear the testimonies that was very touching from some of the young ladies who he had mentored and continued to mentor up until the day that he passed, because he maintained a relationship with most of those young ladies. So I'm asking all my colleagues for their support on bill number 34-0202 at the appropriate time. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Senator Johnson. Colleagues, we will now move to bill number 34-0203. Who speaks to this bill?
I do, Mr. Chairman.
Senator Joseph, you may proceed with your introduction.
Mr. Chairman, I rise in strong support and urge my colleagues to vote favorably for bill number 34-0203, a resolution honoring and commending Alvin Delano Burke Sr. posthumously for his service and contributions to the sports of basketball, horse racing, and to the people of the Virgin Islands. This bill is long overdue. I have had the pleasure of knowing this great man, his family members. On April 20th of this year, this bill was heard in the Committee on Government Operations and Consumer Protection. The the committee which I chair. And I must say that the individuals who came forward testified about the wealth of his heart and giving and being able to mentor. We had testimonies from his sibling, the Honorable Carol M. Burke, former senator, and also from Mr. Roy Shaggy Joseph and Mr. Julio Maganja Felix. The most of these testimonies that was the most riveting was that of Mr. Julio Maganja Felix, who is a renowned jockey from the big island of St. Croix. He spoke about Mr. Alvin Burke's heart when he took him from being a person who was going to be wayward and gave him a new path and a new love, which was horse racing. Today, this gentleman, and that's the legacy, this gentleman, Maganja Felix, credits Mr. Burke with his career as being one of the top jockeys in the United States of America, coming straight out from the Virgin Islands in the big island of St. Croix. So I rise in support of it, and I had to sign my name on because he's not only worked in that field, but he's also provided services as a planner for the Virgin Islands Housing Authority, helping to shape the way for persons to own or reside in their own homes. So I am urging today our colleagues, my dear colleagues, to join me and even signing on as a co-sponsor, but definitely voting in favor of this noteworthy and commendable person from the soil of the Virgin Islands, Mr. Alano Delano Burke Sr. Thank you kindly, Mr. Chairman, for the time.
Thank you very much.
Alvin, so just let me be clear.
Okay.
So that we are definitely going to be honoring and commending Mr. Alvin Delano Burke Sr. And I'm hoping that all of us are going to vote in favor of Bill 34-0203. Thank you kindly, Mr. Chair, to make that correction and clarification.
No problem. Thank you very much, Senator Joseph. Colleagues, we will now move to Bill number 34-0220. Who speaks to this bill?
I do.
Senator Johnson, you're recognized for your introduction.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Bill number 34-0220, a resolution honoring and commending the Agriculture and Food Fair Board of Directors and the University of the Virgin Islands and the Virgin Islands Department of Agriculture for 50 years of diligence and coordinating, promoting, and hosting the Virgin Islands Agriculture and Food Fair, known as AgriFest. It's a bill sponsored by Senator Javon James, and I quite sure I'll be signing on to this piece of measure. This weekend just gone is a very proven test that what have been done on the fairgrounds for the past 50 years is a day of success or days of success with the exhibit of all the foods, culture, the planting, even the school children craft that they display down in that big building. It proves that the Virgin Islands Agriculture Food Fair Day is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, in the entire Caribbean. Many, many days, and when you go to that fair, each time that you go, you will learn something new about the Virgin Islands or something new about a Caribbean island who come up and partake in this endeavor. And I definitely will be asking all my colleagues to support this initiative at the appropriate time. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, Senator Johnson, for your introduction. Colleagues, we will proceed with a 3-minute round. If you need another 30 seconds or so, the chair will be generous with you. We will start with Senator Francis. Before I do that, though, Senator Genevieve Whitaker, member of the committee, we will just like to recognize your presence. Senator Francis, you're recognized for your 3 minutes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I certainly stand or sit to support Bill 34-0201. I presented that bill on the behalf of the bill sponsors as well, in commending and honoring and commending Kermit Amon Lewis for his outstanding contributions to the marine industry. So I will certainly be voting in the affirmative. And again, I'm asking my colleagues to do that. In Bill 34-0202, a bill honoring and commending Eugene Genix Thomas. Posthumously, I also know of the many individuals and that he coached over the years in softball. And that a lot of times you just look at the fact of softball, but provided some mentorship to these youngsters, give them an opportunity, and taught them life lessons. A lot of times when you go and to be a part of a team, it requires your discipline and teamwork, understanding that you're not in it by yourself, that in fact you have to utilize and work along with others, to be able to move the team's agenda forward. I think that's so critical. Even as adults, I think sometimes people don't have an appreciation for the team efforts that's required for us to be able to move and work collectively to an end goal. So I believe that Genix was very popular in doing that. There's so many individuals that have moved on as a result of his coaching to be successful members of this community. So I think it's only fitting that we recognize and pay tribute to Genix. Mr. Burke, again, his oversight and the leadership coaching as well that he presented for over 200 players over the years. But even beyond that, I mean, his work, his ability to be educated. He had a master's degree in urban affairs, with the concentration in land use law and administration, neighborhood revitalization from Hunter University in New York. He had certainly as a planner, his 12-year career as a planner, outside of that, so he had some dual roles and dual responsibility. And while he was able to, do his work, also found time to be able to mentor so many students throughout the community. Some of those individuals where he mentored over his 40 years, grassroots, Perby Larson Dolphins, Lady Dolphins, Juanita Guardian, Hurricanes, Sparks, the Lakers, there's just so many contributions that he's been able to make. And again, coming out of Anna's Hope, he had his again, care for horses and had often been seen at the racetrack. And, always a guy that had a very calm, cool, and collective, discipline and mentality. You could always relate and speak with him because he's always been a voice of reason. So he really, when he passed away, it was really painful to see such individual going on. So again, I'm happy to be in a position today where we're recognizing and honoring Mr. Alvin Delano Burke, a senior, for his contribution. In regards to the recognizing those individuals from that contributed to the agriculture board over the years, I think that is somewhat commendable as well. I remember as a student in the elementary school, where we were required at that young age, and that had to 40 years ago, where we were required to be able to go to the ag fair, and that Monday or Friday, the day before the ag fair started, we'll go there and we'll have class trips to the ag fair. We're able to see the animals, the plant, and get a real exposure before we had the large crowd. And of course,
Thank you.
as the years go by, then the days go by. Of course, you had an extra treat because you get to go with your family members. But as student, we were required to take a class trip to the agriculture fair and had our own opportunity to be able to explore the ag fair, as well as
Time.
be able to present various projects at the ag fair. So I'll be standing and voting in the affirmative for all of these measures that's before us in block number 2. Thank you very much for the time and opportunity, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, Senator Francis. Senator Johnson, you're recognized for your 3 minutes.
Good morning. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. These are particular bill on this block is no-brainers. Bill number 340201, resolution honoring and commending Mr. Kemet Aman Lewis for his outstanding service and contribution to the marine science industry in the Virgin Islands. Have been a brain changer for the marine life. What he have accomplished might just well be the gateway to saving our corals and saving our way of life. Corals are not just something that's fascinating and beautiful, but it's a part of us. It's a part of this territory. It's a part of our fishery. And what Mr. Emmett have accomplished have been a big changer for just the Virgin Island, but the Caribbean and the world. When you look at his resume of the places that he have gone and did this work with this marine life, it's outstanding. Bill number 34-0202, resolution honoring and commending Mr. Eugene Thomas. Again, my coach, someone who have mentored me, someone who have mentored many young children in this territory. You could speak to anyone that met Mr. Thomas and they will tell you the changes that he have made in their life, not just on the ball field, but in their schooling, in their education, in the direction where they go. Sometimes you hear people speak about baseball, softball. That team concept brings a lot more than just playing that ball. It brings camaraderie. You meet friends that are everlasting. And the traveling and opportunity that these young people got when they went and win that championship, I don't think they have ever been achieved again in the Virgin Islands, traveling out with a softball team to such a tournament and actually getting that championship. So I definitely will be supporting this too. Bill number 34, that's 0203. A resolution honoring and commending Mr. Alvin Delano Burke, Sr. I know Mr. Burke, and growing up as a young man, I can remember when he was working in, at the time it would be called Housing, Parks, and Rec. And they brought these different series of basketball where community played against community. And that was such a effect on the young people because they get to meet the different children from the different community, an opportunity they might not have got into if it wasn't for this particular tournament, going in the neighborhoods, playing basketball. You'll have projects, one community against the other. You might have Red Brick against Mali. You might have Harrigan against Safarali. You might get Shabot against Mali Project. And some of these children, if it wasn't for this opportunity, might have never been to that next neighborhood, taking part and meeting friends. So these are some of the things that
1
we
minute.
have done that have definitely made an impact on these young people's lives. Bill number 34-0220, the resolution honoring and commending the Agriculture and Food Trade Board of Directors. Again, as we spoke about it a while ago, the Agri-Fest is the biggest of its kind in the Caribbean. When it's get going again, you will see Antigua, St. Kitts, Dominica, St. Lucia, all of these Caribbean islands come and take part in our fair. Costa Rica, Puerto Rico, you name it. And these islands have came and take part in our Agri-Fest. So it's definitely deserved this resolution and this recommendation, this honoring. And at the appropriate time, I will be voting in the affirmative for all of these bills on block number 2. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, Senator Johnson. Senator Gittins, you are now recognized for your 3 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I see really pressed for time. Let me see if I could do these 4 in 3 minutes. Bill number 34-0201 that speaks to Mr. Kemet Lewis. Let me just say that I'm proud to support this resolution, not only because Kemet hails from the historic town of Frederiksted and is a Virgin Islander, but because as Virgin Islanders, we truly need to be familiar with our natural resources as well as the ecological impact human interactions
Exactly.
present in these environments.
Yes.
I'm hearing someone else speaking, Mr. Chair.
Please mute your mic if you are not speaking. Thank you very much. We're sorry about that, Senator Gittins. You may proceed.
Thank you. And in closing for 34-0201, Mr. Kemet Lewis, I just want to say congrats to you, Mr. Lewis, in advance. And we continue to keep you lifted in prayers. To Mr. Eugene Genix Thomas, Bill number 34-0202, I'm also proud to support this resolution and wish that he was here today to receive his honors. Nevertheless, I'm saying let's do the right thing by him and rebuild our Parley Joseph Stadium and fix all the other parks so that we can have more Genixes in our community and more pro baseball players. With regards to Mr. Burke, Bill number 34-0203, another Virgin Islander that contributed so much to sports here in the territory. And again, I'm asking that we do right by him as well and return horse racing to the territory, not only on St. Croix, but again to the territory so that we can have our spectatorship and be able to be out there and enjoy the horse racing. With regards to the agriculture fair and the University of the Virgin Islands and the Department of Agriculture, congratulations to them on their 50 years anniversary through Bill number 34-0220. Again, congrats to the organizers and the employees and volunteers that put this year's agriculture fair together. It was another spectacular event, and I must ask that next year and going forward that we try to cut down on the amount of talking at the opening ceremonies and try to do some of those honoring and commending at the Government House event that's held a couple of days before the Ag Fair. That way you wouldn't have people sitting there over 2 hours during the ceremony. But again, congratulations to all on a spectacular event put on this year at the Ag Fair. Thank you, Mr. Chair and colleagues.
Thank you, Senator Gittins. Senator Joseph, you're recognized for your 3 minutes. Please recognize Senator Joseph's microphone.
Thank you. Thank you so kindly, Mr. Chairman and staff. I rise in support of Bill 34-0201, in addition to Bill 34-0202 and 34-0203, as well as 34-0220. All four of these bills were heard in the Committee on Government Operations on April 20th of this year. They are commending some strong human beings, 3 of them, who have really demonstrated their love for our people in the Virgin Islands. Let me just begin with 34-0201. Mr. Kemet Amon Lewis. This young man is an overcomer, but not only is he an overcomer and resilient spirit, he is educated in a field of study, which is marine science, which number of people who are descendants of former African slaves are not well represented. This is a career path that is primarily dominated by persons who are not of African descent. But Mr. Lewis demonstrated his resiliency in this area, and he forged on and was able to make some critical milestones, especially in the conservation of coral. He managed the replanting of coral. We have issues due to global warming with coral bleaches, and his spirit and his conviction led him to start a project to replant corals in the Virgin Islands and other places. So I really want to commend him, and I really want to encourage him to continue. And he's also a mentor. He have young people that he is mentoring in this field to also follow in his footsteps. So I definitely rise in support of him and this bill. Bill 34-0202. This bill is also a very critical bill because it honors and commends Eugene Jennings Thomas posthumously for his outstanding contributions to the Virgin Islands community as a baseball, softball, and life coach. One of the testifiers, I recall her testifying, and she has a doctorate degree as well. She testified, and this is how the legacy is demonstrated. She testified how Jennings supported her throughout her professional and her baseball career, and also how he encouraged her on times when she did not feel that she can overcome. And she said he supported her throughout. And now I think she works for a company. They're going to look at doing some additional work here in the field of sciences here in the Virgin Islands and working with historically Black colleges. So I really want to say that's when we honor people, when we have seen the fruit of their labor, and they're individuals who are standing up and standing firm about a person's integrity and the character and the metal. Is not to just be hidden under a stone, it is to be shared with all. And so I really want to commend the bill sponsors for this, and to note that this gentleman was raised, and it says here in the resolution, he was raised with love, faith, and the fear of God. And that is commendable of any person who is going to succeed's character in life. Next, I would like to also, because I am a supporter of this bill and a sponsor of this bill, 34-0203, which is a resolution honoring and commending Alvin Delano Burke Sr.
1 minute.
And he was a great person. I have known him, I knew him for over 20 years. And I'm very grateful for the work he has done in the field of land use, program management, neighborhood revitalization, in New York, and also he worked here in the Virgin Islands, in the Virgin Islands Housing Authority. But what I wanted to place on the record too was a time when I needed help with some young people managing a program. He was able to step right in, and this would have been in 2008. Step right in and provide that support. So definitely I will be voting in favor of that resolution. And finally, Bill number 34-0220. And this is a resolution honoring and commending the Agriculture and Food Fair Board of Directors, the University of the Virgin Islands, and the Virgin Islands Department of Agriculture for 50 years of diligence in coordinating, promoting, and hosting the Virgin Islands Agriculture and Food Fair, known as AgriFest. I have been a vendor at AgriFest for
Time.
10 years. Mr. Chairman, may I be allowed to wrap up?
You may wrap up, Senator.
Thank you. I was a vendor at AgriFest for 10 years. It is indeed the Caribbean's largest agriculture food fair, and we have persons who come annually, very dedicated, from throughout the Caribbean region. AgriFest brings us all as islands closer together. So I definitely will be supporting this measure when we are called to vote on it, and all measures within this block. Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman, for the leeway.
Thank you very much, Senator Joseph. The chair was very, very generous with you, Senator Joseph. Senator Whitaker, you're recognized for your 3 minutes.
Good morning, Chairman. Good morning, colleagues. Good morning to Central staff. Good morning to the listening and viewing audience. Today is, as we go through the various measures, it's also a solemn day as we, of course, are honoring people who have passed. So we reflect on and continue to hold their families in our hearts. And certainly this is a reminder of the importance of honoring individuals when they are with us, and certainly reflecting on them. And certainly one of the things I would emphasize, as for many of those who know, I'm really championing curriculum reform and our children learning their history and their culture. This is so befitting that both the younger generation who we're honoring and those who've passed, our elders, this is so significant. And so I think as we also push forward resolutions, this will be so important that we get this information into the hearts and minds of our children. I want to also emphasize, first of all, indicate that I'm supporting certainly all the measures as a co-sponsor, as well as a few of the measures, and really highlighting. So starting off with Bill number 34-0201, Kemet Amon Lewis. I would definitely say my inspirational dive-in partner in the sense that, he just, from his background and his passion for diving, his passion for the marine life, and that's why I'm also so proud to state that Kemet, Kemet was one of the stakeholders when I was last year driving forward the Marine and Environmental Science Bill that was not successful. Certainly doesn't mean that it can continue making further efforts, but he was one of the individuals who helped with me champion the teaching of marine and environmental science in our schools, and I thank him for that. As we honor our beloved Eugene Thomas, we know the importance of sports in our community. Bill number 34-0202, and certainly this is befitting, and we know that also rests with our efforts to restore our baseball field, all of our recreation fields, basketball fields, tennis field, everything what we're doing right now to support the redevelopment of recreation throughout the territory. 34-0203, certainly commending another amazing great Virgin Islander, Alvin Delano Burke Sr., for his contributions, again, to basketball, as reiterated already, horse racing, and the people of the Virgin Islands, a real significant person in our community as well. We continue to hold, just remember him and also reflect on our work that we need to do to ensure that we restore, as an example, horse racing, as shared by another colleague. Bill number 34-0220, the food fair, we celebrated the 58th-year anniversary. I do concur about the length of the opening ceremony, but I do also know that it was a really amazing time. I do want to emphasize that our constituents who are out there and stakeholders, they do ask us as senators to engage us more, engage with them more, and so that's why I tend to remain committed. It's a task on itself, but it's an important one that we do our best to engage with our stakeholders, and we do so by helping them. And we know one of the things that we need to help with are our farmers. They need the support. They need the grant support, infrastructure support. They need that, because there was a time when the Department of Agriculture really supported the farmers. They fencing and support for the feed and all of that once occurred here in the Virgin Islands, with both the political leadership and non-political was really supporting them. And we do want farm fresh foods. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, for the time, and I will, at appropriate time, vote in support of these measures. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Senator Whitaker. Without question, I am in support of all of the resolutions in this block. Without question, I think that sometimes we take for granted the importance of having these resolutions. I think as a community with class, a community with dignity, honors and commend their own who have achieved excellence or who have been good examples. And all of the individuals in this block fit the bill, in my view. First of all, Mr. Kermit Aman Lewis, without question, he is highly regarded regionally, not just locally, but regionally, for his contributions in the field of marine science. But perhaps more important is his valuable contributions as an example of how to respond to challenges. And he has been a positive example to all of us, and I am honored to be a part of this institution who has singled him out for special recognition for his contributions to our territory. Obviously, Bill number 34-0202, also Mr. Eugene Jennings Thomas, posthumously for his outstanding contributions to the Virgin Islands community as a baseball, softball, and life coach. Having a mentor, having a coach in your life is something that is very, very important. And many of the young people who were part of his baseball organization, many of them were lacking of a positive role model directly in their home. So he filled that void. He stepped up to the plate literally to provide support, encouragement, and empowerment to many young people in our territory. So we absolutely applaud him posthumously for his contributions. His family should be very, very proud. Bill number 34-0203, the resolution that my colleague on the left introduced, Mr. Alvin Delano Burke, for his, also posthumously, for his service and contributions to the sport of basketball, horse racing, and to the people of the Virgin Islands. My colleague from Frederickstead mentioned his role in the inter-neighborhood basketball leagues and how important and valuable those experiences were for young people during that era where you competed against positively and healthy competitions between persons from different neighborhoods in the territory. It was something that was positive, that was powerful, and I hope that we can once again have those types of healthy, spirited competitions that Mr. Alvin Delano Burke was a part of putting together in our territory. And of course, Bill number 34-0220, a resolution honoring and commending the Agriculture and Food Fair Board of Directors, the University of the Virgin Islands, and the Virgin Islands Department of Agriculture for 50 years. It's amazing of diligence in coordinating, promoting, and hosting the Virgin Islands Agriculture and Food Fair known as AgriFest, which we just had the other day. It is the biggest fair of its kind on a regional level. And pulling something like this off for 50 years is no small feat. When something happens routinely, we sort of pause and take it for granted sometimes. but there's a lot of work, a lot of planning that goes into making sure that events like this go on seamlessly. So I'm definitely in support of this resolution. So colleagues, we have exhausted our round of discussion in block 2. And so we will now open the floor for motions. Do I hear a motion?
Motion.
Senator Francis, you're recognized for your motion.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair and colleagues, I move that Bill number 34-0201, a resolution honoring and commending Kermit Amon Lewis for his outstanding service and contributions to the marine science industry in the Virgin Islands, be approved by the Committee of Rules and Judiciary and sent to the full body for further consideration. I so move.
Second.
Properly moved by Senator Francis, seconded by Senator Whitaker and Senator Joseph. Roll call.
Gittens.
Am I hearing Senator Gittens and Senator Gittens and Senator Johnson? All right. Roll call on bill number 34-0201.
Senator Novell E. Francis Jr.
Yea.
Senator Francis, yay. Senator Kenneth L. Gittens.
Yeah.
Senator Gittens, yay. Senator Franklin D. Johnson.
Yay.
Senator Johnson, yay. Senator Carla J. Joseph. Yes. Senator Joseph, yay. Senator Stephen D. Payne. Senator Payne absent. Senator Milton E. Potter.
Yes.
Senator Potter, yay. Senator Genevieve R. Whitaker.
Yay.
Senator Whitaker, yay. Mr. Chair, we have 6 yay, 1 absent.
Thank you very much. Colleagues, bill number 34-0201, a resolution honoring and commending Kermit Amon Lewis for his outstanding service and contributions to the marine science industry in the Virgin Islands has been favorably considered by the Committee on Rules and Judiciary and will be forwarded to the full body for further consideration.
Motion.
Senator Gittens, you're recognized for your motion.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair and colleagues, I move that bill number 34-0202, a resolution honoring and commending Eugene Genix Thomas posthumously for his outstanding contributions to the Virgin Islands community as a baseball, softball, and life coach, be voted upon favorably here in the Rules and Judiciary Committee and be forwarded to the full body for further consideration. I so move.
Properly moved by Senator Giddens, seconded by Senator Joseph.
Joseph, Francis, and Johnson.
Joseph, Francis, and Johnson. Roll call on bill number 34-0202.
Senator Novell E. Francis Jr.
Yea.
Senator Francis, yay. Senator Kenneth L. Gittens.
Yes.
Senator Gittens, yay. Senator Franklin D. Johnson.
Yay.
Senator Johnson, yay. Senator Carla J. Joseph. Yes. Senator Joseph, yay. Senator Stephen D. Payne Sr. Senator Payne absent. Senator Milton E. Potter.
Yes.
Senator Potter, yay. Senator Genevieve R. Whitaker.
Yay.
Senator Whitaker, yay. Mr. Chair, we have 6 yay, 1 absent.
Thank you. Colleagues, bill number 34-0202, a resolution honoring and commending Eugene Genix Thomas posthumously for his outstanding contributions to the Virgin Islands community as a baseball, softball, and life coach has been favorably considered by the Committee on Rules and Judiciary and will be forwarded to the full body for further consideration.
Motion.
Senator Joseph.
Motion.
Senator Joseph, you're recognized for your motion.
Tick.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I move that Bill number 34-0203, a resolution honoring and commending Alvin Delano Burke Sr. posthumously for his service and contributions to the sport of basketball, horse racing, and to the people of the Virgin Islands be favorably voted upon in the Committee of Rules and Judiciary and forwarded to the full body for further consideration and action. I so move.
Everybody.
Second.
Everybody.
Okay, properly moved by Senator Joseph, seconded by Senator Francis, I believe Senator Gittins, Senator Johnson, Senator Whitaker, and Senator
Yes.
Whitaker. Roll call on bill number 34-0203.
Senator Novell E. Francis Jr.,
Yay.
Senator Francis, yay. Senator Kenneth L. Gittins,
Yeah.
Senator Gittins, yay. Senator Franklin D. Johnson,
Yay.
Senator Johnson, yay. Senator Carla J. Joseph, Senator Joseph, yay. Senator Stephen D. Payne Sr., Senator Payne, absent. Senator Milton E. Potter,
Yes.
Senator Potter, yay. Senator Genevieve R. Whitaker,
Yay.
Senator Whitaker, yay. Mr. Chair, we have 6 yay, 1 absent.
Thank you very much. Colleagues, bill number 34-0203, a resolution honoring and commending Alvin Delano Burke Sr. posthumously for his service and contributions to the sport of basketball, horse racing, and to the people of the Virgin Islands has been favorably considered by the Committee on Rules and Judiciary and will be forwarded to the full body for final consideration.
Motion.
Senator Johnson, you're recognized for your motion.
I move that. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I move that bill number 34-0220, a resolution honoring and commending the Agriculture and Food Fair Board of Directors, the University of the Virgin Islands, and the Virgin Islands Department of Agriculture for 50 years of diligence in coordinating, promoting, and hosting the Virgin Islands Agriculture and Food Fair, known as AgriFest, be voted on favorably in the Committee on Rules and Judiciary and be forwarded to the full body for further consideration. I so move.
Second.
Properly moved by Senator Johnson, seconded by Senator Whitaker, Senator Joseph, Senator Gittins, Senator Francis.
You didn't hear me.
Roll call on bill number 34-0220.
Senator Novell E. Francis Jr.,
Yay.
Senator Novell E. Francis Jr.,
Yes.
Senator
said
Francis,
yes.
yay. Senator Kenneth L. Gittins,
Yes.
Senator Gittins, yay. Senator Franklin D. Johnson,
Yay.
Senator Johnson, yay. Senator Carla J. Joseph, Senator Joseph, yay. Senator Stephen D. Payne Sr., Senator Payne, absent. Senator Milton E. Potter,
Yes?
Senator Potter, yay. Senator Genevieve R. Whitaker,
Yay.
Senator Whitaker, yay. Mr. Chair, we have 6 yay, 1 absent.
Thank you very much. Colleagues, bill number 34-0220, a resolution honoring and commending the Agriculture and Food Fair Board of Directors, the University of the Virgin Islands, and the Virgin Islands Department of Agriculture for 50 years of diligence in coordinating, promoting, and hosting the Virgin Islands Agriculture and Food Fair, known as AgriFest, has been favorably considered by the Committee on Rules and Judiciary and will be forwarded to the full body for further consideration. Madam Clerk, can you please read the agenda for Block 3?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Block 3, Bill number 340206, an act amending Title 23, Chapter 5, Section 460 of the Virgin Islands Code, repealing reciprocal recognition of firearm licenses for persons that own firearms outside of the Virgin Islands. Bill number 340225, an act amending Title 5, Virgin Islands Code, Subtitle 2, Chapter 201, Sections 2539 to increase the penalties for failure to report certain crimes. Bill number 340226, an act amending Acts numbers 8474, 8479, 8486, 8494, 8496, and 8498 to adjust the fiscal year 2022 budget to appropriate funds to the Casino Control Commission for capital outlay, WTJX for capital outlay and satellite uplink, respectively, election systems of the Virgin Islands for general election, Virgin Islands Cricket Board, Department of Tourism for personnel and fringe benefits, Virgin Islands Board of Nurse Licensure for personnel and fringe benefits, and 8% salary restoration for Social Security and Medicaid taxes reimbursement to the Economic Development Authority, Governor Wang F. Louis Hospital and Medical Center, and the Virgin Islands Waste Management Authority. This concludes the reading of Block 3, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. Colleagues, we will proceed with Bill number 34-0206. Who speaks to this bill? Senator Francis Heiliger, you may proceed with your introduction.
Good day to the people of the territory. Good day to my colleagues as well as to those in the listening audience. I want to offer Bill 34-0206, and this speaks to an act amending Title 23, Chapter 5, Section 460 of the Virgin Islands Code, repealing reciprocal recognition of firearm licenses for persons that own firearms outside of the Virgin Islands. Inside of our current code, unfortunately, we have a piece of legislation that does exist that allow for individuals that might be coming into the territory that are visitors, travelers, might be relocating here to the Virgin Islands, that there's some sort of reciprocal ability to come in here with their guns. During the last committee hearing where we had an opportunity for the Commissioner of the Police Department to testify, as well as the AG's office, I was very happy that this piece of legislation was unanimously voted out into the Rules and Judiciary Committee, because they all recognize, and even by the admission of the police commissioner, they would like to see this removed out of the VI code. When you decide to travel here to the Virgin Islands, come and visit us. We welcome you. We just don't want you coming with your guns. We don't have a problem with you wishing to relocate here, but at the end of the day, follow the procedure just like every other resident that comes in here to the territory that was born or raised here, that go through the procedures of having to take psychological exams, whether we have to go take classes. With all the issues that we're having with gun violence across the United States, this is, and even here in the territory, this is a loophole for me that we need to close. Also within this section of the law, I want to stress to you that we are not repealing the entire section. We are only repealing the first paragraph, which speaks to private citizens being able to bring in their guns. When it speaks in the second paragraph to law enforcement officers and such, that is still there. We're not touching it because we understand as law enforcement officers, you might have to travel back and forth with your weapons, and we don't have a problem with that. So I'm asking my colleagues for their support as this is an important piece of legislation, as we see that several entities and organizations that did come and testify, to include, like I said, the commissioner and the AG's office was in support of this piece of legislation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Senator Francis Heiliger. We will now move to bill number 34-0225. Who speaks to this bill? Senator Francis Heiliger, you may proceed with your introduction.
Thank you. I offer bill number 34-0225, an act amending Title V, Virgin Islands Code, Subtitle 2, Chapter 201, Section 2539, to increase the penalties for failure to report certain crimes. This piece of legislation speaks to the unfortunate situations of child abuse, child neglect, sexual assault of our minor children here in our territories. Unfortunately, we have had this piece of legislation in the books that has some very soft, in my opinion, penalties for people that do not speak up, and individuals according to the law that are responsible, that if you see a child or even you suspect that a child is being sexually assaulted, if you know for a fact or you have witnessed or you have an idea that a child is being neglected or physically abused, you are responsible. And the individuals that are listed in the code, such as doctors, some educators, etc., those people have an obligation to report this. For some reason here in our territory, we seem to have this nonchalant behavior when it comes to, unfortunately, the abuse, whether sexual assault, physical, of our children. But we have to put the fear of God in these people so they can understand that you cannot play with the children of this territory. Unfortunately, we've had situations that scandals have rocked our education department. Even here within this institution, we're dealing with our own unfortunate alleged sexual assault situation here. And I'm asking that the members of this committee recognize that we have to create laws to let these people know you cannot play with the children of this territory. This particular piece of legislation changes individuals that do not follow through and report these things, that it is now a felony, as well as they could be facing 2 years in prison. And we also increase the fines for individuals that want to play with the children of this territory. So I'm asking my colleagues, this piece of legislation also was unanimously voted out of the last committee into this committee. So I'm asking my colleagues for their support, and I am looking forward to it headed to the Senate floor, because at the end of the day, as representatives, our job is to create laws to help the people, especially the children of this territory. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, Senator Francis Heiliger. Colleagues, we will now move to bill number 34-0226. Who speaks to this bill?
I do, Mr. Chair.
Senator Francis, you're recognized for your introduction.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair and colleagues, bill number 34-0206. There is
That's
seeks to address
0226. Sorry about it.
34-0226.
Okay.
It's an amendment that seeks to address some funding that was done during our budget cycle, and certainly amend several pieces of Act 8474, Act 8479, Act 8486, Act 8494, Act 8496, and Act 8498. Again, all budget bills that was heard during the fiscal year 2022 budget cycle. And in this, it appropriates funds to the Casino Control Commission for capital outlay, the WTJX also for capital outlay, and a satellite uplink, the election system of the Virgin Islands for the general election, the Virgin Islands Cricket Board, Department of Tourism for personnel and fringe benefits, Virgin Islands Board of Nurse Licensure for personnel and fringe benefits, and also to restore the 8% for Social Security and Medicare taxes reimbursement to the Economic Development Authority, the Governor Juan Francisco Louis Hospital and Medical Center, and the Virgin Islands Waste Management Authority, all semi-autonomous agencies. So at the appropriate time, I'll be offering an amendment to address those areas. And again, I'm asking for my colleagues' support to address that particular issue. Bill number 34-0226. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair, for the time and opportunity.
Thank you very much, Senator Francis. Colleagues, we will now proceed with, let me be sure. Okay, those are the three items in block number 3. Colleagues, we will allot 5 minutes to this round. You don't need to use your entire 5 minutes if you don't have to. We will start with Senator Francis. You may proceed with your introduction. With your 5 minutes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I do intend to support all of the measures in this particular block. And certainly Bill number 34-0225, which enhances the penalties for failing to report certain instances of child abuse. As a former law enforcement officer, as well as served on the original child abuse task force, it's critical that we address this particular issue and make sure that where there's opportunity for us to amend the law, again, in protecting our children of the Virgin Islands, as well as holding those that may be culpable and responsible for any misgivings, any abuse, and to make sure that they're held culpable and responsible for their actions. So I will be supporting this measure. In Bill number 34-0206, conceal and carry permit reciprocity. Again, this bill will eliminate the reciprocity for out the territory and weapons. Traditionally, the code allow for those individuals, bounty hunters, other law enforcement to actually contact the Virgin Islands Police Department, at which time they're able to produce and show their credentials and get approval from the police commissioner for the carrying of weapons while in the territory. Obviously, under those scenarios, the police department will know beforehand when these individuals are traveling with their firearms, as well as when they leave with their firearms. What this will do is, again, close that continued loophole where individuals, travel back and forth with their firearms and declare it from their location of disembarkment. However, when they come into our territory, they have an opportunity to come in with the firearms without taking it as required by law to notify the Virgin Islands Police Department immediately upon arriving in the territory. This will empower those individuals, law enforcement, again, to minimize that opportunity and address that particular issue of a void. However, we know full knowledge that a lot of those individuals that may be involved with the illegal transportation of firearms will not be declaring those firearms either to the airlines or, in instances, even to the Virgin Islands Police Department. So we still have to address that in the own ability to do strong enforcement, by continue to doing our part, or they continue to doing their part in law enforcement in eradicating our islands of
2
these
minutes.
firearms. In respect to Bill number 34-0207, making a false statement, this bill will criminalize false statements to government officials. There in here again, there's punitive actions being taken whenever those false statements are opportunities where individuals may attempt to issue false documentation.
I'm sorry, Senator. I'm sorry, Senator Francis. We're not on that particular bill as yet. That bill is on the final block. So I just wanted to let you know. That's in the final block of the agenda.
Very well. 34-0226. I'm sorry about that. Again, I move the measure on behalf of the bill sponsor for Senator Kurt VLA to amend the budget bills. And at times, while we go through the budget cycle and have to appropriate certain funding to various government agencies, as we go through the year, there may be some opportunity for us to be able to tweak those funding bills up or down. And in this instance, we're seeking to amend some of these bills in Bill 34-0226, some up and certainly some downwards to make sure that we continue to pass and survive a balanced budget, but more importantly, to make sure that the semi-autonomous agencies have the necessary funding to be able to carry out their mission on the behalf of the people of the Virgin Islands. So at the appropriate time, again, I'll be offering the amendment number 34-535 on the behalf of the bill sponsor, Senator Kurt A. VLA. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, Senator Francis. Senator Johnson, you're recognized for your 5 minutes.
Good afternoon, I think. Morning, still good morning, Mr. Chair. Thank you very much. At the appropriate time, I will definitely be supporting these three measures. I definitely would like to speak on Bill number 34-0225. It's very important that this bill definitely be supported and passed. I can recall some allegations of some case some time back where people knew of certain crimes that happened to some of our young people and no one spoke about it, no one proceeded until the individual was finally arrested and charged and is right now facing some charges. But I believe if people do come out and speak when they have the knowledge, the amount of person that was taken advantage of would not have happened. So I definitely will be supporting this measure. And I just hope that when we pass these legislation, that the laws that we pass will be enacted and enforced. Many times we come in here and we pass bills and measures and it just lie dormant, and that we cannot continue. And definitely at the appropriate time, I will be supporting Bill number 34-0226. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Record time.
Absolutely record time. Thank you very much, Senator Johnson. Senator Gittins, you're recognized for your 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair and colleagues, at the appropriate time, I'll vote on these measures before us. Thank you.
Senator Gittins break the record, so that's your record was very short-lived. Senator Joseph, you're recognized for your 5 minutes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. I surely will not be following in any of their footsteps. I just want to, first of all, commend the bill sponsors for these pieces of legislation that they have brought forward. Speak first about bill number 34-0206. And this definitely is looking at closing that gap. But we know who have worked in the area of social justice and the like, that persons who are going to bring in those guns, they're going to find any means and any way necessary to bring it in. But this is definitely one step, and we just have to be a bit more vigilant, especially our police department and as our former commissioner of police said, vigilant in ensuring that we are enforcing the laws and to catch those persons who are bringing in guns illegally into the Virgin Islands, that they are arrested and prosecuted. So I rise in support of Bill number 34-0206. I move on now to Bill number 34-0225, which speaks about an act amending Title 5 Virgin Islands Codes, Subtitle 2, Chapter 201, Section 2535, to increase the penalties for failure to report certain crimes. And the certain crimes is alleged child abuse, sexual abuse, or neglect. And this is from people who are officials or institutions who are required to report these cases. To me, it's very troubling that we have to now force and put into legislation because of things that have been happening in our community, where persons who are required to report these type of heinous crimes that is being perpetrated against our children, now we have to legislate it. This is what they're supposed to do, and we need to try to hold all of those persons accountable. The recent case with the monitor at Charlotte Amalie High School, wherein individuals were notified in that institution, that school, that's what the alleged victim said, that's what the victim allegedly said, did nothing. That is unacceptable. And now we have to legislate and put into place some criteria and increase the penalties. That is unheard of, especially when you are the custodian and the guardian of young people. You're supposed to go out there and report it, no matter what. If this person's your cousin, your brother, your sister, your uncle, whoever, report it. They're doing something wrong, and they need to be accountable and held and brought to justice. So I really want to commend the bill sponsor for sponsoring this, and I definitely will be in support of this measure. Finally, these budgetary adjustments in bill number 34-224, I have no objection to. I'm sure they were properly vetted. These items were properly vetted in the Committee on Finance, the Committee of Jurisdiction. I note that especially for the Board of Nurse Licensure, there is some increase there, and I know they've been asking for that increase, and so I definitely am in support of this measure. Thank you kindly, Mr. Chairman, for the time.
Thank you very much, Senator Joseph. Senator Whitaker, you're recognized for your 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning once again. I rise in support of all these measures as well. I want to start off with Bill number 34-0225, and I also do commend the sponsor and do plan on also supporting the measure, joining on as a sponsor. I want to highlight, because one of the things they do say is that senators were not doing anything. When it came to the situation at the Charlotte Amalie campus, from the very beginning of learning about the situation, I engaged along with my team on reaching out to the commissioner and all those involved in terms of addressing the case. And I just want to just continue to emphasize that our role as senators in keeping engaged with the process. So I have, even as recent as this past April, really engaged, because now the case is with the Human Services. And I want to also emphasize that as we increase penalties, we have to also increase our level of oversight. We cannot drop the ball. I do want to emphasize, and I encouraged Commissioner Carlos Gomez and Commissioner Barry Benjamin, that we have to work concretely. And I do acknowledge that they've been working on revolutionizing the system, because it should never happen again. And the only way we can stop this level of violence is that that we have to be a lot more aggressive. The work ethics around ensuring that children are safe, the efforts funding-wise, whatever support we need to ensure that this doesn't happen again. So I do acknowledge that the administration is working on this matter, and I just do encourage that through the committee process as well, that we continue to get an update regarding that. This crosses a couple committees as well, crosses education, health, and even issues surrounding justice and homeland security, particularly the committee that deals with that. Next up, I just want to emphasize that we are going into another budget season. I do always really encourage, I'm not on the finance committee, but I do engage the finance committee chair and the members, that when we go through the budget process, it has to be a lot more all-encompassing. It's very all-encompassing in terms of bringing the agencies before us. But in terms of the performance-based budgeting, no, we're just doling out monies to these departments and agencies, and we should be rolling back monies. When they are not performing, when they are choosing to pull back on salary increases and choose to ramp up on fringe and all these expenses, we got to put a stop to that. I, for one, believe in ensuring that our employees get what they need on an annual basis, and for those, and we continue to support, if we continue to fund departments and agencies where that is occurring. And I do commend the agencies and departments where those directors and commissioners are ensuring that their employees are made whole. I, for one, was in a former capacity making sure that took place.
2 minutes.
And that's bill number 34-0226, in which we are working now on addressing some, increasing different funding areas and making sure that we assist those agencies and departments. 34-0206, and certainly we continue to address the issue of firearms. But we know the country we live in, I tell you, if we go to the world, there are some countries in the world that what they have done when we have these kind of crises where crazy people are going in and attacking our children who are just simply trying to go to school, these poor little babies and the suffering that it occurs, it's not going to be us making. I commend the sponsor and I commend this effort. But when we drill down on the issue of firearms, we have to look to the world countries that put a real heavy stop on this. And they did that very rigidly. And so we need to follow the rigidity. People have a right to bear arms and to protect themselves. But we are now in a space in this country, and we don't have to always follow America. We live in America. This is America. But the Virgin Islands can carve out our own destiny. So we can continue this effort. I suggest that we're going to have to do something a lot more intense to address the firearm issue, which also includes the police department properly and more efficiently processing requests for licenses of those who want to protect themselves in the right way. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Senator Whitaker. Without question, I support all the bills in this block. Bill number 34-0206, commend the bill sponsor for this initiative. We all are aware, we listen to the news every day, gun violence has absolutely been a scourge in this community, but more so it has been a scourge in our nation. The proliferation of firearms getting in the hands of persons who are not, persons who are deranged, who are not responsible, has really been a black eye on our territory. The mass shootings that we've seen lately is a phenomenon here in this country. It doesn't happen anywhere else with such regularity. While most of the gun violence that we see in our territory are perpetrated by the use of unlicensed firearms, any move to reduce the possibilities of firearms getting in the hands of wrong people is a plus, is a help, but it does not lessen our responsibility to identify or stem the tide of illegal firearms from entering the Virgin Islands. That is still something that we must work diligently with our federal partners to eliminate. Obviously, our Attorney General as well as the Police Commissioner both testified on this initiative favorably. So at the appropriate time, I'm definitely going to support this initiative. Similarly, I express kudos to my colleague for bill number 34-0225. Persons with a duty to report instances of child abuse must do so, and they must be held accountable for failure to do so. We must utilize every efforts at our disposal to protect our children, and this bill is a step in the right direction for us to put a shield of protection over our children. And bill number 34-0226, we're making funding adjustments to the FY 2022 budget for the Casino Commission, WTJX, and the Board of Nurse Licensure, JFL, the WMA. I support that initiative also. Colleagues, we have exhausted our round of statements in this block. We will now open the floor to motions. Do I hear a motion at this time?
Motion.
Senator Johnson, you're recognized for your motion.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I move that bill number 34-0206, an act amending Title 23, Chapter 5, Section 460 of the Virgin Islands Code, repealing reciprocal recognition of firearm licensing for a person that owned firearms outside of the Virgin Islands be voted on favorably in the Committee of Rule and Judiciary and be forwarded to the full body for further consideration. I so move.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second.
Properly moved by Senator Johnson, seconded by Senator Francis, Senator Joseph, I believe Senator Gittins. Roll call on bill number 34-0206.
Senator Novell E. Francis Jr.
Yay.
Senator Francis, yay. Senator Kenneth L. Gittins.
Yes.
Senator Gittins, yay. Senator Franklin D. Johnson.
Yay.
Senator Johnson, yay. Senator Carla J. Joseph. Yes. Senator Joseph, yay. Senator Stephen D. Payne Sr. Senator Payne, absent. Senator Milton E. Potter.
Yes.
Senator Potter, yay. Senator Genevieve R. Whitaker.
Yay.
Senator Whitaker, yay. Mr. Chair, we have 6 yay, 1 absent.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. Colleagues, bill number 34-0206, an act amending Title 23, Chapter 5, Section 460 of the Virgin Islands Code, repealing reciprocal recognition of firearm licenses for persons that own firearms outside of the Virgin Islands, has been favorably considered by the Committee on Rules and Judiciary and will be forwarded to the full body for further consideration. Do I hear a motion?
Motion.
Senator Johnson, you're recognized for your motion.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I move that bill number 34-0225, an act amending Title 5, Virgin Islands Code, Subtitle 2, Chapter 201, Section 2539, to increase the penalty for failure to report certain crimes, be voted on favorably in the Committee on Rules and Judiciary, and be forwarded to the full body for further consideration. I so move.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Properly moved by Senator Johnson, seconded by Senator Joseph and Senator Francis. Roll call on bill number 34-0225.
Senator Novell E. Francis Jr.
Yay.
Senator Francis, yay. Senator Kenneth L. Gittins.
Yes.
Senator Gittins, yay. Senator Franklin D. Johnson.
Yay.
Senator Johnson, yay. Senator Carla J. Joseph. Yes. Senator Joseph, yay. Senator Stephen D. Payne Sr. Senator Payne, absent. Senator Milton E. Potter.
Yes.
Senator Potter, yay. Senator Genevieve R. Whitaker.
Yay.
Senator Whitaker, yay. Mr. Chair, 6 yay, 1 absent.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. Colleagues, Bill number 34-0225, an act amending Title 5, Virgin Islands Code, Subtitle 2, Chapter 201, Section 2539, to increase the penalties for failure to report certain crimes, has been favorably considered by the Committee on Rules and Judiciary and will be forwarded to the full body for further consideration. Colleagues, do I hear a motion?
Amendment?
Amendment, Senator Francis, you may proceed with your amendment.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair and colleagues, I offer amendment number 34-535 and on behalf of the bill sponsor, Senator Kurt A. Vielle, amendment to bill number 34-0226. Bill number 34-0226 is amended as follows. A, by striking subsection A in its entirety and inserting a new subsection A to read as follows. A, in section 10100 General Fund C, by inserting a new line item after Health Information Technology Exchange, $250,000 to read Commission of Agent, $150,000, and in total org, 200 Office of the Governor, by striking $11,574,012 and inserting $11,724,012 in its place. B, subsection C is amended as follows. 1, in paragraph 1, by striking $5,641,634 and inserting $5,652,870 in its place. 2, in paragraph 3, by striking $100,000 and inserting $110,000 in its place. 3, in paragraph 4, after M1718, Virgin Islands election, by inserting primary and general, and by striking $350,000 and inserting $500,000 in its place. B, in paragraph 7, by inserting association after National Guard. 5, in paragraph 8, by striking $31,785,131 and inserting $31,556,367 in its place. 6, in paragraph 9, by striking $31,785,131 and inserting $31,556,367 in its place. 7, paragraph 10, by striking $720,253,443 and inserting $720,054,679 in its place. 8, by striking paragraph 2 in its entirety and renumbering the remaining paragraph accordingly. I so move.
Object.
Properly moved by Senator Francis, seconded by Senator Joseph, objected to by Senator Gittins.
Roll call.
Roll call on the amendment.
Senator Novell E. Francis Jr.,
Yea.
Senator Francis, yay. Senator Kenneth L. Gittins,
No.
Senator Gittins, nay. Senator Franklin D. Johnson,
Yay.
Senator Johnson, yay. Senator Carla J. Joseph, Senator Joseph, yay. Senator Stephen D. Payne Sr., Senator Payne, absent. Senator Milton E. Potter,
Yes.
Senator Potter, yay. Senator Genevieve R. Whitaker,
Yay.
Senator Whitaker, yay. Mr. Chair, we have 5 yays, 1 nay, 1 absent.
Thank you very much. The motion carries. Do I hear a motion?
Motion.
Senator Francis, you're recognized for your motion.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair and colleagues, I move that bill number 34-0226, An act amending Acts number 8474, 8479, 8486, 8494, 8496, and 8498 to adjust the fiscal year 2022 budget to appropriate funds to the Casino Control Commission for capital outlay, WTJX for capital outlay, and satellite uplink, respectively, election system of the Virgin Islands for the general election, Virgin Islands Cricket Board, Department of Tourism for personnel and fringe benefits, Virgin Islands Board of Nurse Licensure for personnel and fringe benefits, and 8% salary restoration, securities, Social Security, and Medicare taxes reimbursement to the Economic Development Authority, the Governor Juan Francisco Louis Hospital and Medical Center, and the Virgin Islands Waste Management Authority, as amended, be approved by the Committee of Rules and Judiciary and sent to the full body for further consideration. I so move.
Second.
Properly moved by Senator Francis, seconded by Senator Johnson. Roll call on bill number 34-0226 as amended.
Senator Novell E. Francis Jr.
Yea.
Senator Francis, yay. Senator Kenneth L. Gittins.
No.
Senator Gittins, nay. Senator Franklin D. Johnson.
Yay.
Senator Johnson, yay. Senator Carla J. Joseph. Senator Joseph, yay. Senator Stephen D. Payne Sr. Senator Payne absent. Senator Milton E. Potter.
Yes?
Senator Potter, yay. Senator Genevieve R. Whitaker.
Yay.
Senator Whitaker, yay. Mr. Chair, we have 5 yays, 1 nay, 1 absent.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. Colleagues, bill number 34-0226, an act amending Act numbers 8474, 8479, 8486, 8494, 8496, 8498 to adjust the fiscal year 2022 budget to appropriate funds to the Casino Control Commission for capital outlay, WTJX for capital outlay, and state and satellite uplink, respectively, election system of the Virgin Islands for general election, Virgin Islands Cricket Board, Department of Tourism for personnel and fringe benefits, Virgin Islands Board of Nurse Licensure for personnel and fringe benefits, and 8% salary restoration, Social Security and Medicare taxes reimbursement to the Economic Development Authority, Governor Juan F. Louis Hospital and Medical Center, and the Virgin Islands Waste Management Authority, as amended, has been favorably considered by the Committee on Rules and Judiciary and will be forwarded to the full body for further consideration.
Point of information.
Senator Francis, you're recognized for your point of information.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I just wanted to advise the listening audience in regards to the amendment that I offered on the behalf of the bill sponsor, Senator Kurt VLA, that Amendment 34-535, one, it strikes the subsection A, which is DLCA, who withdrew the request for additional funding, and also the Commission of Aging was not funded before this amendment seeks to do that. Also, the EDA, the 8% restoration payment, employer share for Social Security, Medicare, and for those other semi-autonomous agencies, they had already been reimbursed to the delivery and installation of the WTJX satellite uplink. The St. Croix satellite uplink is already in place, and now this seeks to get the one for the St. Thomas district for their mobile WTJX satellite station, mobile vehicle. They'll be able to have an uplink as well in that. Also, the funding for the 2022 primary and general elections was also amended here. The general election was already addressed, and now we're doing the separation for the funding to ensure that there is funding available for the general election as well as the primary election. And also there is a technical amendment for a name change, as well as a technical amendment to adjust the totals and renumbering the sections accordingly based on the amendment that had been offered. I just wanted to provide clarity to the public in regards to the amendment that was offered on the behalf of the bill sponsor and the funding that was readjusted to meet the needs of our community. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair, for the time.
Thank you very
Point of
much.
information.
Thank you very much for your explanation, Senator Francis. Senator
Point of
Gittens, you're
information.
recognized for your point of information.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just wanted to explain my no vote for this particular measure so that those viewing and listening can understand why I stated no. I've always stated that these primary elections are to be funded. The Virgin Islands Code is clear that the parties are responsible for their own primary and that the election system shall just approve the process in which it must be done. And to support a measure that will add another $150,000 to fund primary election in the territory, I am not in support of. The original bill number 34, that's 0226, spoke to the election systems of the Virgin Islands for general election. However, the amendment that was offered in number 34-535 in subsection B3 included primary elections. Hence, my no vote for this particular measure. Thank you, Mr. Chair and colleagues and the people of the Virgin Islands.
Thank you very much, Senator Gittens. Madam Clerk, can you please read the agenda in block number 4?
Information, point of information.
Senator Whitaker, please proceed with your point of information.
Thank you, Chairman. I want to just emphasize, I did hear the previous speaker speak about the funding of the elections. We want to really put on the record that it's really important to know the election continues to be funded, and the support for the funding is that on the federal level as well. We have a federal office on the ballot, as well as to ensure the integrity of the elections, that it is important that we continue to properly fund the system that is responsible for the election process. What we need to carve out is that the parties themselves need to get themselves together so that they will hold those respective party office elections themselves and nominate their respective individuals. But we have to be sure that we have and maintain the integrity of the elections, and henceforth, while we have a federal person on the ballot, while we also have to, the ballots are being sent to individuals overseas and to the, there's a lot of processes involved, and to put that on the parties at this time, and even in the future, because you can go around the country, around the world, and even in my former capacity in doing election observation around the world, literally, you have to really be cognizant of ensuring that the elections in that jurisdiction is properly funded. So that's my emphasis to support it, but we have to make sure that our people understand why it's important to ensure the integrity of the election system, making sure it's properly funded, and the parties themselves stepping up to ensure that they do their part with respect to the nomination for their party offices for their specific parties. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you very much, Senator. Thank you very much, Senator Whitaker.
Personal privilege.
Senator, I don't want to have a back and forth indefinitely. Senator Gittens, please proceed with briefly with your point of personal privilege.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I understand the previous speaker with regards to integrity. However, as the former deputy supervisor of elections as well, I am saying that if we are so concerned with the integrity, then all we simply have to do is change the law. However, as we're sitting here, we are to adhere to the laws of the Virgin Islands, and currently the law does not require that this body funds a primary election. It is clear that the parties are responsible for their own primary, and that the responsibility of the Board of Elections is to simply approve the process. Thank you, Mr. Chair and colleagues and the people of the Virgin Islands.
Thank you very much, Senator Gittens. Madam Clerk, can you please proceed with the agenda for block number 4?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Block 4, Bill number 340207, an act repealing and reenacting Title 14, Virgin Islands Code, Chapter 41, Section 843, relating to fraudulent claims upon the government of the Virgin Islands, its officers, departments, boards, commissions, or agencies. Invited testifiers, the Honorable Denise George, U.S. VI Attorney General, Attorney Alicia Udamwi, President, VI Board Association. Udawani, President, VI Board Association. Bar Association. This concludes the reading of the agenda, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. Madam Clerk, can you please read Attorney General Denise George's testimony into the record?
Presentation of Attorney General Denise George, 34th Legislature of the Virgin Islands, Committee on Rules and Judiciary, Bill number 340207, June 2nd, 2022. Good afternoon, Chairman Potter, other senators, legislative staff, and to those of you listening and viewing today. My name is Denise George, and I am the Virgin Islands Attorney General. Unfortunately, due to a scheduling conflict, I will be unable to attend today's hearing on Bill number 340207. However, I respectfully request that the following testimony from the Office of the Attorney General be read into the record. The purpose of this measure is to replace the existing language contained in Title 14 Virgin Islands Code, subsection 843, and to replace it with slightly different yet stronger language regarding fraudulent claims upon the Virgin Islands government. Today's proposed bill will alter the current statute's subsection 3. That subsection states, whoever makes any false or fraudulent statements or representations shall be fined not more than $500 or imprisoned not more than 2 years or both. The new language, placed under subsection A4, would make it a crime for any materially false or fraudulent statements made. According to Black's Law Dictionary, the word material means important, more or less necessary, having influence or effect, going to the merits, having to do with matter as distinguished from form. In other words, a materially false statement would be one that would cause someone to rely on the representation in error or to their detriment. So, for example, someone who falsely stated a date on which they filed a claim would not probably be guilty of an offense under this section unless those dates carried such such a specialized import as to change the outcome in the matter at hand, and they made the statement willfully or with knowledge those dates were incorrect. In short, the Office of the Attorney General supports this added language. Further, today's proposed measure would create a new subsection A5, which states, whoever knowingly or willfully submits or invites reliance on any forged, altered, or fictitious writing, document, sample, specimen, map, boundary mark, or other objects in any matter within the jurisdiction of the executive, legislative, or judicial branch of the government of the Virgin Islands, or within the jurisdiction of any officer, department, board, commission, or other agency of the government, shall be fined no more than $2,500 or imprisoned not more than 5 years or both. This would create more specific circumstances under which someone may be convicted under Title 14 Virgin Islands Code, subsection 843, but also increase the monetary fine and term of imprisonment upon conviction. Again, the Office of the Attorney General supports this language and the accompanying increase in penalty. Finally, the new legislation would create a new subsection B that states, for purposes of this section, writing includes filings submitted in an electronic format or any other format described by the governmental body to which the writing is submitted. I see no issues with this new language, which offers clarification of the proscribed conduct. In summary, the Office of the Attorney General supports the passage of Bill number 340207 and recommends it be voted upon favorably by this committee. That concludes my formal remarks.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. Senator Francis Heiliger, you're recognized for your introduction.
Yes, because I speak to this bill. Good afternoon again to my colleagues, to the listening audience. As the sponsor of Bill number 34-0207, an act repealing and reenacting Title 14 Virgin Islands Code, Chapter 41, Section 843, relating to fraudulent claims upon the government of the Virgin Islands, its officers, departments, boards, commissions, or agencies. As a member of this institution for over 23 years, I have worked with senators, I have worked on central staff, and now I'm in the capacity of a senator. And I have seen some things happen on this Senate floor over the years that had concerned me as it relates to certain testimonies. I have also witnessed at times things that are being relayed to the government that people do not understand, that is very dangerous when it comes to passing laws or getting things done by agencies. When someone comes before this body or lies to a government agency, they're not at times understanding the full ramification of what they're doing. When you come to me as an elected official and you blatantly lie to me fraudulently or fictitiously, where you're sharing material information to a subject matter that I may need information for, and because it just sounds good or you just want to brush it off, when you tell me something that is false and I utilize that information to now pass a law for the entire Virgin Islands, you have not only done this institution a disservice, you have done yourself a disservice, but all the people of the Virgin Islands. So when it comes to this particular piece of legislation, we did things where we increased penalties for individuals that chose or continue to feel that it's appropriate to lie to elected officials as well as the government. When it comes to pertinent information, we need to execute our jobs, as well as bringing it into more modern times to include things such as electronic writing, as well as cleaning up some of the ambiguous language and being more specific as to the agencies such as and department, as well as the branches of government, to include executive, legislative, and judicial. By doing so, we have closed up the loophole as for people to attempt to interpret certain things how they see fit when it's specifically outlined in this piece of legislation now. I am asking my colleagues to please support this piece of legislation. I know there was an incident that happened earlier last year where I was very, very much offended as a legislator, where I felt false information was relayed to me on this Senate floor. And this was one of the things that prompted us to really push to upgrade this piece of legislation, as well as add information to the code. So I want to thank my colleagues as well as the AG for their full support of this measure, and hopefully I could get the support that I need on Bill 34-0207. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, Senator Francis Heiliger. Colleagues, we will proceed with a 3-minute round. I am disappointed that we've invited the president of the Bar Association to provide testimony on this important piece of legislation, and we have not received a correspondence. We've received zero feedback from the Bar Association, and measures like this that have potentially far-reaching legal ramifications, it is important that the Bar Association weighs in on it. And I am very concerned that the committee received absolutely no feedback, no email, no response regarding the attendance of the Bar Association at this hearing, whether they come in person, the president, Ms. Yudwani, came in person, or a representative from the Bar. I think it's very important that the Bar sends a representative on matters like this, because when actions are taken by this body that are not in sync with what the legal community thoughts and opinions and ideas are, then the legislature is being viewed as unilaterally taking these steps. And we unfortunately did not receive any feedback from the board, from the Bar Association relative to their attendance. But we will proceed, colleagues, with a 3-minute round, beginning with Senator Francis. Senator Francis, please proceed with your 3 minutes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I want to, first of all, commend the bill sponsor for moving this legislation forward, bill number 34-0207. And I will be in support of this measure. Again, it speaks to accountability. And if there's fraud perpetrated against the government of the Virgin Islands, there should be some culpability, responsibility in that action. Whoever falsifies, conceals, cover up, trick, scheme, I think is terms, again, that is anti government, and certainly individuals should be held responsible for it. Materially false, forged, alter, fictitious writing, be it whether it's the executive branch, the legislative branch, or the judicial branch. I always pride myself, after serving 33 years in government, that I've never been called by the Inspector General's office or the Attorney General's office again because of any action that I have taken in regards to documentation. I've had responsibilities, across the board, leadership responsibilities, and I never took those things for granted. I always want to do things above board and be able to sleep at night, because, at the end of the day, you have a conscience to go home to. And I always want to make sure I'm doing things in the right. So again, anyone that falsely and make these claims or attempt to defraud the government in any way, shape, or form should be held accountable. Of course, after due process and a determination is made, whether by a judicial officer or a jury of their peers, that they have been convicted of wrongdoing, then they should be
1
culpable
minute.
and responsible for action. In wrapping up, I will be supporting this measure. And again, I want to commend the bill sponsor for moving this legislation forward. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair, for the time.
Thank you very much, Senator Francis. Senator Johnson, you're recognized for your 3 minutes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I do support this measure and do support what my colleague that spoke before said. But more interesting, when you pay attention to the Inspector General reports from all of these agencies, there are so many different loopholes, and therefore some other amendments might need to be passed on this measure to start charging and fining for those fraudulent signatures that have been placed in many of these articles when you see the Inspector General report. So at the appropriate time, I definitely will support these measures, and we definitely need to start making sure that when these type of legislation go forward, that the enforcement part is there. Not just that we pass measures and they sit there, that the AG office definitely go and dig and make sure we hold people accountable. That's all need to be done. Once we hold 1 or 2 persons accountable, everybody will get in line. But we definitely need to start doing these type of measures and making sure that the Attorney General office have whatever resources it needs to fulfill these obligations and these type of legislation. At the appropriate time, I definitely will be supporting this measure. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, Senator Johnson. Senator Gittens, you're recognized for your 3 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I, too, support this measure. Of course, this measure simply spells out the types of conduct that constitutes making fraudulent claims against the government of the Virgin Islands, its officers, boards, commissions, and agencies. And I'm looking forward to also returning that bill that if your hand is caught in the cookie jar and you defraud this government or steal from this government, that you lose your pension. And we need to have more discussion on this matter, but I tip my hat to the sponsor of this particular bill, 34-0207, and I look forward to supporting this measure. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, Senator Gittens. Senator Joseph, you're recognized for your 3 minutes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I too rise in support of Bill number 34-027. And I also commend the bill sponsor for this, putting forward this measure, because it speaks to something that we have to be very careful of, even as legislators, and we have a level of immunity. When we make fraudulent claims against persons, whether saying that persons are taking money under the table and which are not true and are false claims. See, it's a matter of integrity and assuring that when you speak from a position of truth. And if you don't speak from a position of truth, you need to be quiet. A still tongue keeps a wise head. And so I definitely commend the bill sponsor, and there's some teeth in it, and the individuals who are fined doing this, they are going to be penalized by either $2,500 or imprisonment not more than 5 years or both. So there's some teeth into this piece of legislation, and I think is really worthy. We really need to stop saying and doing things that are not true and really impacts persons' character and their ability to move around, because it catch on like wildfire. It catches on like wildfire, and it takes and grows on its own some of these claims and fraudulent things people do. So I really commend the bill sponsor, and at the appropriate time, I will be voting in favor of this measure. Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Senator Joseph. Senator Whitaker, you're recognized for your 3 minutes.
Good afternoon, good afternoon, Chairman. Good afternoon, everyone. Colleagues, and I'm here competing a bit. Okay, thank you. Yes, so I want to just reiterate also my support for Bill number 34-0207. I think it's really important, and I really commend, I will be supporting this measure, definitely even supporting as a sponsor, because it's really important. We have to, and it's disappointing that we don't have the individuals here. I want to say that, and there are times, and even I experienced yesterday, when we have individuals who don't come to testify in support of a measure, they are key stakeholders, we can still move a measure forward. That didn't occur yesterday, but I see that we probably might be doing that today. But I will say this: we will have to sometimes, as senators, make decisions without the stakeholders present at these hearings as testifiers, because of how critical the measures are. We also, too, as a body, and I continue to encourage that when persons come before us to testify, we have to, according to our own rules, swear them in. Whether, even if they're testifying on a bill or a measure, we should make sure that we swear them in. And there has to come a time that we hold people accountable for what they say on this floor, we have to do that. Otherwise, we're not going to be taken seriously when information is shared. So ultimately, I think that we need to. I support this measure moving forward, and I reiterate there will be times when we have to move measures forward when we don't have the stakeholders' full support, who would be impacted. There's a decision we have to make. When we want to make something, we want to ensure that we're doing something that's going to benefit us and going to ensure that there's more compliance.
1 minute.
That concludes. I have no other statements other than to say that this is it's a good measure. Let's continue to move forward with holding individuals accountable. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Senator Whitaker. I too rise in support of this bill number 34-0207. I believe, and I've said it before, I think one of the most destructive forces that we have in our community is misinformation. And it's even more critical, it's even more consequential when this misinformation is knowingly perpetrated, when people know what they're saying is false and they just casually and frivolously make their statements anyway. And this bill is an attempt to discourage or deter that type of destructive action. It strengthens the bill. It brings a lot more specificity, as the Attorney General said. It brings more specific circumstances under which someone may be convicted under Title 14 VIC Section 843, but also increases the monetary fine and terms of imprisonment upon conviction of such actions. I am definitely in support of this initiative, and I commend the bill's sponsor for her foresight in putting pen to paper to make this bill a reality. Colleagues, we have exhausted our final round in this block. And do I hear a motion?
Motion.
At this time. Motion. Senator Johnson, you're recognized for your motion.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I move that Bill number 34-0207, an act repealing and reenacting Title 14 Virgin Islands Code, Chapter 41, Section 843, relating to fraudulent claims upon the government of the Virgin Islands, its officers, department, board, commissions, or agency be voted on favorably in the Committee of Rule and Judiciary and be forwarded to the full body for further consideration. I so move.
Do I hear a second? Do I hear a second?
Second.
Properly moved by Senator Johnson, seconded by Senator Joseph. I believe I heard Senator Francis. Roll call on bill number 34-0207.
Senator Novell E. Francis Jr. Senator Novell E. Francis Jr.
Yay.
Senator Francis, yay. Senator Kenneth L. Gittins.
Yes.
Senator Gittins, yay. Senator Franklin D. Johnson.
Yay.
Senator Johnson, yay. Senator Carla J. Joseph. Yes. Senator Joseph, yay. Senator Stephen D. Payne Sr. Senator Payne absent. Senator Milton E. Potter.
Yes.
Senator Potter, yay. Senator Genevieve R. Whitaker. Senator Genevieve.
Yay.
Senator Whitaker.
Yay.
Senator Whitaker, yay. Mr. Chair, we have 6 yay, 1 absent.
Thank you very much. Colleagues, bill number 34-0207, an act repealing and reenacting Title 14 Virgin Islands Code, Chapter 41, Section 843, relating to fraudulent claims upon the government of the Virgin Islands, its officers, department, boards, commissions, or agencies, has been favorably considered by the Committee on Rules and Judiciary and will be forwarded to the full body for further consideration. Senator Francis Heiliger, you are recognized for your point of personal privilege.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. First of all, I would like to thank all of my colleagues here today for their support of all 3 unanimously of my pieces of legislation. As it relates to Bill 34-206, that speaks to the protection of our territory, the protection of our people as it relates to reciprocation of guns coming into our territory. When it comes to Bill 34-0207, that speaks to the protection of the people as well as the territory, because you cannot lie when it comes to officials, the government, because we are the ones that decide what happens in regards to the entire territory and all the residents that are here. And when you do that, you wreak havoc. We cannot accept it. And when it comes to Bill 34-0225, this specifically has to do, again, with the protection of our children in the territory. All 3 of these pieces of legislation that has been sponsored by myself, Senator Alma Francis Heiliger, they speak to protection. And at the end of the day, as representatives of the people of this territory, we have to do what is right on behalf of the people. So thank you so much to my colleagues. You are greatly appreciated, and I will see you on the Senate floor during session.
Thank you very much, Senator Francis Heiliger. Colleagues, we have exhausted today's agenda. I want to thank you very much for being a part of doing the people's business. I want to thank my staff and members of the legislature, central staff, who do really awesome work quietly behind the scenes to make these meetings go relatively seamlessly. So I want to thank you very, very much. Have a great day, everyone.
Point of personal privilege. Point of personal privilege.
Senator Johnson, you're recognized for your point of personal privilege.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I'd like to use this time to extend condolence to Mr. Almeric Mendez, better known as Shabazz, Brutality, Old Mangani. That's a brother out of the West with a million names. He passed a couple days ago. definitely would like to extend my condolence to the Mendes family and their loss of their loved one, and may God be with their soul. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, Senator Johnson. We also offer condolences to the family. Colleagues, we have exhausted today's agenda for sure. I want to thank you again for your presence. Have a great day, everyone. The Committee on Rules and Judiciary meeting of June 2nd, 2022 is hereby adjourned.